Okay, it is 2 o'clock officially. This is a meeting of the Board of Trustees of Weatherford College. This is Thursday, March 12th, 2020. It's, as I said, 2 p.m. or a little bit thereafter. This is the Aline Strain Community Room of the Goss Student Center that we're in here at 225 College Park Drive, Weatherford, Texas, to consider and act on the agenda that's been posted. I have called this meeting to order at this time, and I will give a short invocation, if you'll bow. Almighty God, thank you for this day, for our school, for those who attend and guide this school's operations. Care for us in this time of crisis. Give us solid guidance, wisdom, and understanding. Help us make good decisions for all the things that we are confronting and that we need to do in our lives these days. Protect us from harsh consequences. Bless all of us and protect us as we go forward. Amen. Amen. We'll stand and I'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Today, it looks like there are no individuals that would like to participate in open forum. So we'll move to agenda item number 3, the President's Report. President Farmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman and members of the Weatherford College Board of Trustees, I would like to give a few brief recognitions and employee notifications. Recognitions. The first recognition of the meeting is to our Phi Theta Kappa team. Our Phi chapter of PTK far surpassed the 2019 membership goal with an astounding 18.2% increase in membership. This exceeded the regional average of 15.9%, the division average of 16%, and the international average of 15%. Great job to Shantae Siebert, Dana Orban, and the entire Phi chapter. Congratulations are in order to Brent Baker for chairing our COVID-19 task force. Proactive sanitation measures have been instituted across the institution, and good personal hygiene recommendations from the Center for Disease Control and the World Health Organization have been communicated and posted on our campus website. We appreciate all the planning and proactive measures that have put in place to enhance student safety. Weatherford College had 16 student athletes qualify for the NTJCAC academic team. Each recipient completed 3 semesters of college work with a minimum of 36 hours, and that led to a degree, all while maintaining a cumulative grade point average of 3.25 or higher. WC qualified 9 baseball players, 2 women's basketball players, 1 men's basketball player, and 4 softball players. These students are demonstrating excellence both in the classroom and on the competition surfaces. Go Coyotes! Weatherford College choir students Mimi Farr, Jimmy Gray, and Keegan Odell were recently selected to the Texas 2-Year College All-State Choir. Congratulations on this significant accomplishment. Dr. Scott Tarnoveski and his team recently hosted a successful 2nd annual interdisciplinary conference. Approximately 425 people attended the 2-day conference. A record number of 76 contestants have applied for the 2nd annual international piano competition. The top 24 contestants will advance to the final round in the Alcat Performance Hall on April 25th. Only in its 2nd year, this event has already become one of the premier piano competitions in the country. Congratulations to Master Pianist Dr. Haeyong Song and Dean Durrett. Employee notices. DMAC Local requires the college president to provide the names of contract employees that have resigned since the last board meeting. In accordance with this policy, the following individuals have submitted resignations. Charlotte Messina, an instructor of physical therapy, resigned effective 5/9/2020. Jennifer Womack resigned, an instructor in the ADN program, with an effective date of 3/20/2020. And Elaine Wright, a purchasing assistant, has resigned with an effective date of 2/20/2020. We thank Charlotte, Jennifer, and Elaine for their service and wish them well in future endeavors. Mr. Chairman, that concludes the President's report.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Are there any comments or questions about it, any of the report? All right, if there aren't, we'll move to the next agenda item, number 4, consent agenda, financial reports. Those 4 items are posted as A, B, C, D. Approval of the minutes of the last meeting on February 13th, financial reports, quarterly investment report, disposal of obsolete and surplus items as listed too. Is there a motion that the consent agenda and financial reports be approved?
I so move.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
That item is approved. Moving to number 5, consideration, possible action, adoption of 2020-21 tuition and fees. President Farmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As Executive Vice President Dr. Andrew Cantrell presented last month for your consideration, the Weatherford College Administration is recommending a 7% tuition increase in the next academic year for in-district students, an 8% increase for Weatherford College Wise County students, and a 9% increase for students out of district. These increases are both designed to address inflationary pressures as well as the costs associated with our new Bachelor's of Science in Nursing program and a new vet tech program.
All right. Is there a motion that we adopt the proposed 2020-21 tuition and fees as stated by President Farmer in his presentation?
I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes. Thank you. Move to the next agenda item, number 6, consideration possible action, competitive sealed bids on Counts Hall demolition, number SB 0820. Mr. Curley.
Yes, sir. We're going to kind of approach both 6 and 7 simultaneously. The reason that the selection committee made up of Raleigh McCoy, Dr. Cantrell, Mark Berg with Huckabee, and myself considered both of those sets of bids in a 2-day meeting where we discussed them, alternately as we came to issues where they were related. The selection committee arrived at a recommendation that we accept the best value bids, which were also coincidentally the low bids, and both contractors were local and showed themselves to be competent. The CMAR that was selected was Imperial Contracting, and the demolition contractor is a company called Matrix. Matrix was considerably cheaper than the other bids. Upon inquiry directly with the owner, we find that there were 2 reasons why that they were able to make such a low bid. And I had a handout that I couldn't get to print that would show you what those things were, what they were. But it turns out that Matrix has all of its machinery and so forth nearby here in Weatherford, number 1. And number 2, they are able to take the debris and move it a very short distance. They don't have to process it or separate it or anything else. So it really shortens and cheapens that removal process. So we were enthusiastically accepting that. And each person who chose to submit a bid had to agree in that bid that they accept all the terms and conditions in the contract that was included in the bid package. So, and Imperial, also a local company, is going to be the CMAR with your approval. The job of the CMAR is to work directly with Huckabee, and Imperial is currently working in concert with Huckabee on other educational projects, so they're familiar with each other. And with Mark Berg from Huckabee being on our committee, he could speak directly to the performance and relationships that they had. And it was by a factor, if I recall, of something in the order of $300,000 between Imperial's bid and the next bid up. So those were the, I don't know whether you know what the role of the CMAR is, but it is that they have a responsibility for working with the architect, pricing the project, and coming up with a fixed guaranteed price. And then they're responsible for maintaining the quality, the fidelity of the work as it's planned, and the cost. And if it doesn't work out like it should, they're at risk. So that's what they do, and they're willing to accept that responsibility. So that's a capsule of what we did, and the recommendations are that we do accept those two bids.
Okay, are there any questions or comments by anyone?
The elements of the bid that they are in effect guaranteeing, is that correct? When they get a price, then they're saying that price will stay the same?
Yes, after the Imperial, as CMAR investigates, works with the architect, and they sort of boil down what they're actually going to do, the kind of materials and quality and all this sort of stuff, then the CMAR analyzes it and establishes a fixed price.
They're the ones that establish that price?
Yes. Yes.
So if they agree to it, then the other party has to follow through?
Yes, and we're not strangers to that process. As it progresses, we will be privy to the things that are going on, and that if we are not in agreement, I mean, if they end up, putting gold-plated marble or something, then, and it gets too expensive, we can say, no, try again, until we get it to where we want it to get. So,
Okay.
They work for us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Any other questions or comments?
On the demolition of the building, and you said the Matrix company was removing and disposing of the material only a short distance away. I was just interested to know where that was gonna be, that they were disposing of all this material, a short distance.
I don't know. I don't know. It's apparently a site that they have been able to use over a period of time. My speculation would be that it is a fill project, because they can dump all that stuff in there rough, mash it down, cover it up, and then somebody could build a building or something on it. That would be my speculation. Would you like to know where it's going?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
You're satisfied.
I'd find out. I need to. I'd be happy to. So.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to know that this project is going to include filling in that ditch, right? And, okay, so the place will be ready for construction.
Well, the demolition may not fill it in. The demolition will remove couts, and then as we break ground for the new workforce facility, they'll do a lot of dirt work, and they'll have to do some hydrology work for the water flow, and so.
Yeah.
But it will be filled in when the workforce building is complete.
Thank you.
We're getting rid of that.
No more ditch.
No more ditch.
Okay, since these are agenda items 6 and 7, I'm going to ask if there's a motion as far as agenda item number 6 is, and I'll repeat it into the record, that the Board of Trustees approve the recommendation of the Construction Committee on award of Couts Hall demolition to Matrix Demolition and authorize Dr. Farmer to execute a contract with Matrix upon approval of the contract by general counsel.
I
Is
so
there such a
move.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
That passes. Now we'll go to number 7, and I'll also read off the
No.
proposed motion.
If you don't mind,
What's that?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question about an item further up, kind of slipped by it, and I'm kind of slow, you know. So, up here it says disposal in number 4, disposal of obsolete surplus items. And we have photographs in here of these items. Is that true? I didn't catch where we talked about that, or we may not even need to talk about that. I just have a question about that. At Tech, I know when we had surplus items like this, it was put in a place and it was advertised for public support entities like public schools and so on could come and had first chance of getting those surplus items if they could use them. Do we have any kind of thing like that, or are these things just bulldozed or whatever? I'm just
On an ongoing
curious.
basis, we dispose of items that were considered to be surplus. There was a meeting where these items were asked to be declared surplus, and
Uh-huh.
so then they have been. And all the protocols about access to it and auctions and so forth have been adhered to as we move forward.
No doubt. Is that successful? I mean, do you actually have people coming and
Yes.
claiming some of these things?
Yeah.
Do they have to have any kind of certification or credentials to acquire these? What is the criteria?
Well, if they come here and say they want to take it as a public institution,
Uh-huh.
then they have to be able to establish it. Buyers just have to come with money and pay for it.
Yeah.
That's a certificate for it.
Yeah, so but could be just open to the general public.
At a certain point, yes.
Is there a price on these items, like this row of computers in here, for instance, are they sold at a certain price?
Generally, they take bids or auction it, so that they sell it for the highest price they can fetch.
Sure.
In the process.
Good.
They don't try to set a price on it.
Thank you, I'm just curious about that.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you,
Thank you.
Dr. Marlette. We'll move back to number 7 on the agenda, and I'll repeat what the recommendation is and ask for a motion on this, if it's okay. Is everybody ready to do that? That the Board of Trustees approve the recommendation, agenda item number 7, recommendation from the Construction Committee on award of CMAR services for the new workforce building to Imperial Construction, Inc., and authorize Dr. Farmer to execute the final agreement upon recommendation of General Counsel. Is someone?
So move.
Second.
Second on that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously. So, we will move to number 8, reports, which we are receiving by email. Dr.
That is
Farmer,
correct, sir.
can you elaborate on that?
Yes, Teresa has been provided with digital copies from the respective parties, Mr. Indy on the demand study update and the vet tech study update. Those will be provided to you via email and to any other individual from the public upon request. Agenda item 8A, the guided pathways update, which was to be conducted by Dr. Linda Garcia. She recently was exposed to COVID-19, and so we have postponed the training that was to occur here on this campus today. And we will get that rescheduled and provide you an update on that Guided Pathways initiative once that's been rescheduled.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions about 8A, B, or C? If not, we will move. There's no action required on those, so we'll move to number 9, and that would be announcements. Dr. Farmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On tab number 9 of your packet, you'll see many upcoming events, which include athletic events, spring break, various fine arts events, the Phi Theta Kappa induction ceremony, We have a philosophy of religion and science conference, and then, of course, the the international piano competition is forthcoming. However, amid COVID-19 concerns, please be aware that this schedule could be modified and that many of the formats of this event could be changed due to recommendations from the Center for Disease Control about gathering large bodies of people in close proximity. So the upcoming event schedule is very likely to be changed, and wanted to notify you of that at this time.
Do you have
Anything else?
any guidance from the Disease Control Center about what those crowd sizes would be?
Crowd
For
sizes,
some of these events here?
not the specific number. I know that there are different numbers being
For
thrown
different
around,
events.
and various conferences and various bodies are using
Yeah.
different numbers to
Yeah.
cancel their events. But as of today, in addition to TCU and Tarleton, Texas Tech, and University of North Texas have both extended their spring break and are concluding the semester in an online format.
Yeah.
And we have such plans in place should it become necessary for us here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? So now then, we're at agenda item number 10, closed session as posted. I will announce that we are ending the open session at this time, and we will begin the closed session in about 2 minutes.
Is that
Into open session, and we'll begin at this time to consider, let me double check one time before I shoot my big mouth. Okay. We'll move to agenda item number 11, and based on certain things that we've discussed in closed session concerning possible actions involving real property, I want to frame a motion to see if there's a motion and a second. And this deals with real property. It has to do with the Huckabee agreement that we have in place concerning the campus master plan. And so the motion has to do with an additional matter that we need to do concerning a statistical study to support that campus master plan. So my motion would be that the board approve an amendment to the Huckabee agreement, which would permit Huckabee to prepare a campus master plan, and further, that the administration would be authorized to further amend the Huckabee agreement to conduct a statistical study to support the campus master plan. If that's clear, then that would be my motion, and or someone would make that motion. I think it would be more appropriate.
I so move.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 That's unanimous. So, now with that done, we'll move to number 12, consideration possible action on personnel matters. And the board in closed session was dealing with certain personnel matters, and particularly we want to deal with compensation of certain administrative members of Weatherford College, based on information we've had about salary comparisons in the state of Texas, Weatherford College versus the other community colleges we have, and how compensation compares on that basis. So my motion would be, or my suggestion for a motion would be, that the board authorizes Dr. Farmer to proceed with adjusting the compensation of the cabinet members as required to meet the objective of competitive pay. The cabinet members I'm referring to would be the VP Academic Affairs, EVP Finance, the VP Advancement, General Counsel, the Dean Student Services, the Director of Institutional Research. And furthermore, in that we also extend President Farmer's employment contract for the year 2020.
I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Got
Yes,
one
sir.
more. To approve the CMAR and demo,
We already did that.
did we?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we did that.
I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
lost track.
Yeah, we did that. Let's see, that
That
was,
was in the meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
that was number 6 and 7. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's okay. That was a while back, and there's a lot of water under that bridge. And I appreciate you bringing that up to double check.
All right.
All right. We're going to move to the next agenda item, which would be a motion to adjourn. Is there
I so
such a
move.
Second.
second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you so much.